A soft blanket of mist covers the mountains of Catalonia this morning, floating gently between the peaks as the warm rays of the sun begin to break through. The low clouds are retreating slowly, as if to tell us that there is no need to rush on this beautiful late January morning. In the distance, the windmills are turning lazily, sending the briefest hint of the presence of civilization, while the softest breeze is travelling across the forested hills. If you're new here, hi, I'm Jessica, and I live in my wooden campervan Bilbo with my partner Rissy and our adopted puppy Heidi. A year ago, we spent all of our savings on the second-hand van and made it into a home using reclaimed and natural materials. Since then, we've been travelling around Europe in the slow lane and exploring beautiful places on the way to reconnect with nature and grow roots in the wild. Like most days, we are easing into the day at a slow pace, doing a few chores around the van and brewing a hot pot of coffee. Golden sunlight is flooding our little home on wheels, highlighting all the different textures and shades of wood, and making the place feel extra warm and cozy. One of our favourite things about being in Southern Europe in the winter is having the doors wide open first thing in the morning without feeling cold, and connecting with the ever-changing landscapes around us. It's one of those little luxuries that remind us why we chose this lifestyle, despite all the small inconveniences. The mountain range we're currently calling home is called El Spots, a beautiful natural park which is shaped by limestone cliffs, jagged peaks and deep valleys. And the dramatic rock formations have inspired tales of giants and ancient deities which have been passed down through generations. Good morning, friends. We are here in the mountains of Catalonia and it's so sunny.
It's really, really warm.
I'm actually almost too warm in my dress, which is wild in January.
Yeah. It's wild to think, like a month ago or something? We were in like many minuses of degrees.
Yeah, it was like up to -7 degrees, yeah. We were actually hesitant to go back to Spain because last time we spent a lot of time by the coast and it was just really busy, lots of motorhomes. But we realised that once you drive even like half an hour or an hour inland, it's so beautifully quiet. There's no one here. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few farmers, but like there's no van lifers really. I've seen very few people in vans and even fewer motorhomes.
Yeah, not that we mind other van lifers, but we do like our peace and quiet and we try to avoid busier areas. And yeah, people don't seem to mind us here. It's just like a tiny little dirt track surrounded by mountains and yeah, we've just been here for a couple of days, just taking things slow.
Gorgeous view, nice weather.
Yeah, it's about 15 degrees. It's going up to like 18 the next few days.
Which to a lot of people probably isn't that warm, really.
It feels really warm. The sun is so warm.
Yeah. But I mean, like, the people here are wearing their big puffer jackets still,
Yeah.
aren't they?
Yeah, for us it's summer weather almost.
Yeah.
So the reason we're here is because we're visiting some friends in Valencia and we're also getting some work done on the van. We're just rebuilding our bathroom a little bit to make it look nicer and then we're going to film our van tour, which is very exciting. So that's why we're in this area. We're here for about a week and we're going to do some hiking and cycling. So we found a trail on All Trails that looks really beautiful, so we're going to do that today. And you found a 1,000-year-old olive tree, didn't you, on your run yesterday?
Yeah, well, I was, I looked it up on Wikipedia kind of by accident. I was interested in the closest town. It looks very epic, and I was interested if there was any history or any kind of interesting pilgrimage relevance. And it mentioned on the Wikipedia page that there is a 1,000-year-old olive tree which was planted when this area of Spain was still controlled by Muslims in like the Middle Ages. And this tree has lived through all of that. So I was running into town yesterday and I ran past it and had a little look, and it looks magical. It's such a beautiful tree.
Yeah, we are going to take you there because I haven't seen it yet. So Rizzy's going to take me and the camera.
Yeah, it was very pretty to see. It feels like a wise tree.
And Picasso spent some time there as well, right?
Picasso spent some time in this town, yeah.
We're kind of on a pilgrimage of places where famous painters spend time in.
Purely by accident.
Yeah. Yeah, this is another area we kind of stumbled upon by accident. We were just going to stay here for a couple of days. And in particular, we wanted to visit some hot springs here. They're not quite hot springs, they're warm springs.
Do you know how warm they are?
No. I guess we're gonna see when we get there. But there's some warm springs here. Yeah, we just realised that the area was really, really lovely. We really like those kind of areas that are not super touristy and they're not super well known. I feel like when there's not excessive tourist infrastructure, it just makes the whole experience a lot more authentic. And yeah, I just really like that. San Juan is a picturesque medieval town nestled in the foothills of the mountains, and it has the most charming architecture, cobbled streets, and absolutely beautiful views of the surrounding mountains and countryside. The town is best known for its connection to Pablo Picasso, who spent time here in his young years and was inspired by the local landscapes in his early works. We usually don't spend a lot of time in towns because we find the noise and busyness very overstimulating. But here the streets were beautiful, quiet and calm. And it was just so lovely to stroll through the streets and admire all the pretty little details of the old stone buildings. Just a short walk from town, along a small track surrounded by olive groves, lives La Parotte, an ancient olive tree which is believed to be around 2,000 years old. While the tree is only 8 meters high, its trunk spans an incredible 15 meters, and it really feels like being in the presence of an ancient being, which has seen so much throughout its history. Despite its age, the tree is still healthy and continues to produce olives, which is just incredible. And in the local area, it has become a symbol of the resilience of nature. It's impossible not to feel a profound sense of awe while standing in front of it. After admiring the tree for a few minutes, we heated up some of last night's leftovers to charge up a bit before going on our next adventure. Ruta de Parisal follows the course of the Matarranya River and leads through narrow gorges, crystal clear pools, and lush forests alongside the river bank. On our way there, we found out that unfortunately dogs are not allowed on the hike, and we were not entirely comfortable leaving Heidi in a van on a warm day like this. So because we didn't want to let the journey go to waste, we decided that Rissy would stay behind and I would go on a solo adventure. On the trail you will also see some ancient rock paintings which are estimated to be between 3,000 and 6,000 years old, depicting the life of prehistoric communities. It's honestly one of the most enchanting walks I've ever been on, and it easily makes my all-time top 5. Once upon a time, in the mountains and forests of Catalonia, there lived a young man whose curiosity often led him into trouble. One day, while wandering through the woods, he stumbled upon a mysterious spring surrounded by wildflowers. As he approached the spring, he noticed a beautiful woman sitting by the water, whose golden hair shimmered like sunlight, and her green eyes sparkled in an otherworldly way. She was La Fada Morgana, a powerful fairy known for her beauty and unpredictable magic. Morgana invited the young man to sit beside her and offered him a drink from the enchanted spring, promising it would grant him his heart's desire. The young man was mesmerized by her charm and eagerly drank from the spring. He instantly felt a surge of power and confidence, and Morgana revealed to him that he now had the ability to achieve great wealth, under the condition that he must never be greedy or use the power for selfish purposes. The young man thanked Morgana and returned to his village, where he began using his newfound power to help others. He shared his wealth with the poor, aided farmers in times of drought, and ensured that no one in the village went hungry. But over time, the young man grew proud and began to desire more for himself. He built a mansion, wore luxurious clothes, and started hoarding his riches. One day, Morgana appeared to him in a dream and warned him to change his ways. But the young man ignored her, and in a final test, Morgana disguised herself as a poor beggar and came to his mansion asking for food. But the young man, blinded by his greed, turned her away, upon which Morgana revealed her true form and cursed him, telling him that he would lose all of his wealth and that his greed would forever imprison him. The next day, the young man woke up to find his mansion and riches gone, and himself transformed into a stone statue. He has remained like this in the forest ever since, a reminder of the consequences of greed and broken promises, and a reminder to villagers who would tell their children to honor kindness and humility.
Tonight, we're cooking something which I've never cooked before, which is some kind of Spanish stew. It's kind of like a cross between tomato soupy kind of thing, which I cook, and vegetable stew sort of thing. It'll be yummy.
Nothing like soaking up some vitamin D first thing in the morning. Good morning, friends. It is so sunny, I can barely look into the camera. It is a perfect sunny day. It's going to be up to 18 degrees today, I believe. So I'm going to make some breakfast, and then we're going to pack up, leave our lovely park up here, and head to the warm springs to investigate how warm they actually are. Oh, that was a big sigh, Heidi. Are you looking forward to some hot springs? Yes? The waters of the hot springs we're travelling to have historically been believed to have therapeutic properties. The road there leads through a very narrow mountain pass with very sharp bends and dangerously steep drops. And halfway down the mountain, we had to stop and do a bit of a reality check. So we're halfway up this mountain road and we just saw that there's kind of an S-shaped road in front of us. So we left the van to check it out and we are not driving down there.
Yeah, I was already a little bit unsure about how it would be because already the route here has been pretty thin and pretty windy, and I'm usually pretty happy to just give these things a go, and it's probably easier than it looks, but I don't think that we would make it down there.
Yeah, we thought it would be fine because there was a sign saying no motorhomes or vans in the high season, and this is not the high season, so we thought it would be fine, and it's super quiet, but we'll show you the road because it looks really, really gnarly. So we're just gonna park the van here in this lay-by because it looks like parking is fine here, and we're just gonna walk the remaining 3 kilometers to the hot springs.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I don't think we would have fit around this corner. It's too sharp and there's not enough width.
This landscape is carved by the Canaletas River, which creates a narrow canyon with towering stone walls. Over time, the river has formed large natural pools and ponds, creating the most magical setting for wild swimming.
It's cold.
Oh no! Oh no!
It is not warm.
That is very cold. So the temperature is supposed to be about 25 degrees at this time of the year, but it's more like 10.
Yeah, it doesn't feel much different to our cold water shower. In the van.
No, it's a bit disappointing. I guess I'm gonna go for a cold river dip just to make the most of it and to get some of the sweat off from walking. Are you gonna drive me? Not even for a second. Well, it's just gotta be me then. Oh, it's freaking cold. This is so hot spring. Nice spring.
How was it?
It was cold, but very pretty because you can see the entire gorge there. It's very, very cool. Definitely glad I did it, but it was not warm. So if you come here in winter, be prepared for a pretty but very cold river dip.
Very refreshing river dip.
Very refreshing, yeah. I guess I can skip today's shower. So that's something at least. It saved us some water. On our way back from the gorge, we discovered a trail going a little bit up the river, and lo and behold, we found the actual hot spring bubbling away along the trail.
It's a bit like a bath that's been left to go cold for an hour or so. It's not cold.
It's just not warm.
I don't think someone who's used to the hot springs of Japan would be particularly impressed. But to someone who's used to the cold Welsh rivers of the United Kingdom, it's quite mild.
I think my cold river dip was prettier, so I'm glad I did that. Hey, Bilbo. If you enjoyed this video, do subscribe for more van life adventures and slow travel across Europe, how we live more sustainably, and the folklore we encounter on our travels. Until then, have a lovely week ahead, and we'll see you next time. Take good care. Bye.